Hey guys, welcome back to Dirty Dave's Garage. Getting ready to do an oil change on the 2018 Dodge Grand Caravan. We're under the car right now. Kind of a little funky looking. Just to avoid any confusion, this is your oil drain plug here. It's a 13 mil. Hopefully you can see it. Don't confuse it with this side. This is your transmission pan, and it has no drain plug on it. You have to actually take the bolts out to drain the oil out of that. I have a video for that if you want to look for it. But we're going to drain this oil out. I've already put in half a can of seafoam into the crankcase and drove it around for a while to clean the engine out real good, which I always do before an oil change. I'll put a link to that in the description. That stuff keeps your engine clean, gets all the gunk out, you'll notice a difference. If you check your oil and it's not very dirty, when you run this through, it'll clean all the carbon out of your engine and flush it out good. So we're gonna get this bolt out. Got our drain pan under here. We're gonna drain that out. Simple process. Already loosened it. Just unscrew. I don't know if you can see this or not. Tough angle. And I'm right in the way of the light. So we're going to pull that bolt out. And there it comes. You can see how black it is. It wasn't that black when I checked the dipstick. That means the seafoam's doing its job. It's cleaning shit out. We're going to let that drain, and then we'll be back once it's done draining. Talk about putting the oil back in and changing the filter. Be back shortly. Okay, we're back. We're up top now. Don't forget to put your drain pan bolt back in and snug it up good. Got all the oil drained out. Getting ready to do the filter. This uses one of those newer cartridge type filters. This one is Fram part number TG11665. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Comes with a new O-ring that goes on this cap, which we're in the process of removing. And this is the tricky part on this car. It's difficult to get to. It's at an angle. You can kind of see if I pull the ratchet off how that thing sits down in there. And I didn't want to fool with taking the hose off to the air cleaner and all that garbage. Fortunately, I took my half-inch drive ratchet and put a 24 mil socket on it, and it was just enough to get in there, and you can just turn it enough to get it turning a little bit at a time. You just got to get it loose. Once it gets to a certain point, we should be able to just remove it by hand. Did want to light to cooperate. There we go. But you can see it is turning. There's just not a lot of room here between that and the engine cover to get it out. So I'm working it loose. It's turning. And we'll get it loose and pull that out. Hopefully it'll come out without having to take that hose off. But if we do, no big deal. We'll take it off. So I'll be right back once I get this off. Just wanted to remind you, this is where the oil goes. I have the cap off right now, and we're using 520 full synthetic oil. And again, I'll put a link to that. Here's your seafoam. That's where I poured the seafoam, a half a can in here. And you want to drive it, 50 miles or so before your oil change, just to clean the engine out good. Don't go over 100 miles with it in there, because it does thin the oil out. But it does keep your engines clean and extend the life of your engine. It's good stuff. So let me get that off, and we'll give you a better view of it once I get it out of there. Okay, so this is what it actually looks like when you get it out. I got it upside down now, but you can see at the bottom, that's where your rubber O-ring goes. Right here, you pull the old one off, put the new one on, throw the old cartridge away, stick it in with the nipple pointing out, and shove it back down in there and screw it back in and just snug it up. You don't have to crush it. It's a plastic cap on the bottom. That nut where you put your ratchet is plastic, so it's just meant to be put in there and snugged up. It's not meant to be cranked down on. So we're going to put the new filter in. It just pops on and off inside this little cup, and we'll put that back in, and then we're going to fill up our motor with our engine oil, and we'll check the dipstick and make sure. We'll start the car after we put You know, I'm going to dump the whole, I got 6 quarts here. I can't remember how much it takes, so I'm going to put the 5 quarts in, maybe a little short of 5 quarts, and then measure it with the dipstick and see where we're at, and then top it off. But you want to run the motor and make sure the fluid, the oil gets through the motor and sits for a few minutes. You only have to run it for about a minute, and then let it sit for a minute or two, and then check your dipstick and then top it off from there. That's all there is to it, guys. If you have any questions, put a comment below. See you next time on Dirty Dave's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe.